is such a pleasure to be here today at Politicon, sitting down with Di Maria Mulattieri. Mulattieri.
Di Maria Mulattieri.
Di Maria.
Di Marie.
Di Marie.
Mulattieri.
Mulattieri.
Yeah.
Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Beautiful name, Di
Thank
Marie.
you.
So, Di Marie, you are here stumping for the Justice Party.
Yes.
But that's your passion play. You're actually involved in California clean money on a day-to-day basis.
That is my job. I'm field organizer
I
for
can't,
California Clean Money Campaign.
Years ago, I worked with Ross Perot as a volunteer, and then later for 2 years as paid staff with United We Stand America. And Ross always said that the reform that will make all other reforms possible is publicly funded campaigns or clean money.
We totally agree with you, 100%. So, Kevin, before we get into the interview, I do have to make something very clear. My work outside of California Clean Money with the Justice Party stands alone with me as an individual, and in no way is a reflection on the California Clean Money Campaign.
Gotcha. Wonderful. I'm glad you interjected that.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, let's first talk about the Justice Party, because this is intriguing. So many of the things that I'm beginning to feel in terms of our political system, the Justice Party seems to be in front of that and looking for alternatives to our two-party system. So how about just a quick primer on the Justice Party?
Sure. The Justice Party is a third-party alternative. It's a movement with an electoral arm. We actually was started in November of 2011. It was an answer to those of us that just didn't feel that we could vote for either of the candidates being offered by the duopoly.
Yeah, I mean, the last campaign, I'm up front with everyone. I didn't vote for either of them.
Neither did I.
I ended up voting for Jill Stein. Not that I thought Jill Stein would make a great president, but I certainly wasn't going to vote for a warmonger, which was Hillary Clinton. And Trump just, I just had issues. So
we're in the same boat. I did the exact same thing. I just figured, well, it's a third party. If I can help it get, to that level to get funding, then I'll give them my vote.
Right.
But yes.
And the Green Party, they seem to have a lot of trouble on the local level. I mean, they seem to go after each other as much as anything else.
I'm not going to comment on the Green Party. It's not a party that I've ever been drawn to, and in all honesty, the way I found out about the Justice Party was I was in somebody's kitchen and they said, you ought to check out this Rocky guy.
Okay.
And it was Rocky Anderson, who is a two-time former mayor of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And I did. I went and I looked at his platform. I was running for Congress that year.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because over the years, I just go to so many events and stuff. And I actually did meet Rocky myself in someone's living room. I remember it now, because, yes, he was former mayor of Salt Lake City or something like that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I was running for Congress that year. And so when I looked at his platform, and it was like line for line in harmony what my values stood for, I'm like, I got to meet this person.
Wow. So you would run for Congress. Which district?
39.
Okay. And what area is that?
That is the area just north of the 91. It is the area that is served by Ed Royce.
Gotcha.
It's a primarily Republican area. But, first time out of the gate as an unknown, and I got 4% of the vote.
Really?
Yeah, as an independent. So, hey,
Fantastic.
The good thing was it gave me a platform in which to talk about things that neither side of the duopoly wanted to talk about. Nobody was talking about the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. Nobody was talking about the drone strikes. Right. Nobody was talking about the NDAA.
Yes.
Okay, so there's so many issues that both sides want to just, sweep up under the rug. And I'm like, no, we've got to talk about this. And so running for Congress gave me that platform.
Brilliant. Now, do you think you'll run again under the banner of the Justice Party?
There are many options available. We'll just have to wait and see, how it all plays out.
So tell us about, as I mentioned, I met Rocky. We seem to agree on everything but immigration.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I'm not a one stand kind of guy. Okay, forget that. Where that's going to go. But hey, what is what would be the platform of the Justice Party? What are the values of the Justice Party?
It really is about justice. The problem that we've got in this country is that we've seemed to have forgotten about the rule of law. We've forgotten about the Constitution, which this country was founded on. And there are myriads of laws being passed, both at the state and the national level, that violate the Constitution. And the thing is that most Americans have never read the Constitution. They're not even aware that these laws are not constitutional.
Well, it's interesting. I hear all the time, and I've heard it for years, this clamor for a constitutional convention. Mm-hmm. And my thought is, if we just enforce the Constitution, all these things you're saying about getting these, putting these corrupt bankers in jail, these warmongers in jail, if we enforce the Constitution, we do that. But if you haven't read it, it's...
I have it on my desk, and once a quarter I read it from cover to cover.
Wow.
So that I can stay, abreast. It's very easy when you're constantly being bombarded by the media to forget what the rule of law is. So as an American, and when I ran for Congress, I had to take an oath that I would uphold the Constitution. I'm like, well, I better know what's in it.
Right. I wonder if all those guys on the other side of the Potomac know what's in it. Because I'm just amazed. When you look at the wars that we have been engaged in just since 9/11, and the fact that Congress hasn't insisted on, they've abdicated their authority, their responsibility to allow a president to go to war. I mean, that's corruption on a massive scale to allow that.
Well, 9/11 is corruption on a massive scale.
I think we see the same way there then. And I get drugged through the mud because I'm a 9/11 truther. Mm-hmm. And it is typically the intelligentsia and the elite that will just admonish me for that view. And I'll say, well, if you can demonstrate to me that we can suspend the laws of physics for one day, just arbitrarily, this day we suspend the laws of physics, and I can see you can do that, I will swallow that Building 7 wasn't a controlled demolition.
Right, exactly. Well, there's so much out there. We can save that for another day because that's neither a Justice Party or
that's a rabbit hole.
That's a rabbit hole. Yeah. But the bottom line is that we have been losing our civil liberties, step by step since 9/11. The NDAA, where it's taken away our right to habeas corpus, is a travesty. And Chris Hedges tried to fight that, and President Obama and the DOJ fought them tooth and nail to keep it. And my question is, why?
Yes.
Why? That is a violation of the Constitution. So, there are many different reasons why they chose to do this.
We have it's a corporatocracy.
Yes, it is.
You can call it an oligarchy, but I think really the fellow who wrote the book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
John Perkins.
John Perkins. He came up with the best term, which is corporatocracy.
Yes.
And as Chris Hedges also called it, inverted totalitarianism.
That's an excellent description. Well, basically what's happened is our public servants have forgotten that they are our servants and now lord it over us as masters. And that is not what government is supposed to be. In fact, I refuse to use the term public official.
Oh.
They are public servants.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
They have to be reminded of that. They work for us.
That's it, because words matter. I've studied neurolinguistics a little bit, and James Howard Kunstler said something that I loved. He goes, "Don't ever let anyone call you a consumer. You're a citizen." Because citizen entails not just rights, but also responsibilities.
That's right.
And, so the words do matter. And
well, there's even something else in that consumerism. If you've ever seen the documentary, The Century of Self.
Oh, my God, yes.
Then you know that we've been programmed to be consumers, because that's how they can control us.
And I'm susceptible. I literally have unplugged from television. I get most of my news off of alternate sources on the internet and print.
You're speaking to the choir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a wild planet in that respect.
So getting back to the Justice Party, I think what's really important is, at my core, I am a independent, no party preference person. Always was. But I got involved in the Justice Party because after running for Congress as an independent, I saw how lonely it is and that you really, really need support. Also on the presidential level, you cannot run a candidate as an independent and expect them to win. They have to have ballot access.
Absolutely.
And working on Rocky's campaign, I saw what it took to get ballot access. So I realized that I had to align with some party, but I refused to align with either side of the duopoly because they're both run by corporations.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to, we have a technical battery issue coming up. So let's go ahead and we'll just wind the interview down for now. But what should people know, and where should they go to get more information on the Justice Party?
Well, they can go to the internet, www.justicepartyusa.org for the national. Here in California, we are up and running, and we're looking for our 60,000 registrations.
Okay.
So you can go to www.cajustice.org.
And I'll be sure to put that into the comments section.
Sounds great.
Channel.
I really appreciate the time to talk with you, and I look forward to maybe we can do it again.
Absolutely. DeMarie, this was great. I mean, you just seem to be one of these very enlightened people who's taken matters into her own hands and personal responsibility to get out there and make that change for a lot of people. So
we are the ones we've been waiting for.
I love it. All right, DeMarie, thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Kevin.